Hello everybody, welcome back to How to Build a Home Studio. My name is Yuval Ron, and I'd like first to apologize for taking such a long time to release this last episode. I've been overoccupied with all kinds of other stuff, but mainly with my band Residents of the Future, because we were touring in South America, and we were also preparing some new material for our coming album, which is going to be recorded this year. The album is going to be called Somewhere in This Universe, Somebody Hits a Drum. And as a little compensation, I'd like to give you a short glimpse of me practicing for the tune which bears the same name as the album. Today's episode is going to be dedicated to the inner acoustics of this room, the absorbers, the scattering panels, and other treatments that we made here. But before we talk about this, let's watch a little part about how we made some finishes to the soundproofing of the room, which are no less important because every little spot which sound can escape from or come in from should be sealed, otherwise this whole room is not effective. Now that we are done with the soundproofing of the room, we could finally look into the acoustic treatment of the room. I can tell you that already when I started to work here before treating the room, I could hear things pretty clearly, but I could also hear the room's problems very clearly. There was this annoying echo going on between those walls, and also a lot of reverberation that I tried intuitively to reduce with different absorbers, but it didn't really help. And since Shay unfortunately was no longer around, I needed to call another friend of mine, acoustic engineer Alexander Schubert, and I'd like to invite him now to give us some information and a few tips about how to treat such a small room which many home studios may have. Hello, Alexander.
Hello, Yuval.
Hello. And welcome back to the studio. I have to say that I'm very happy that we work together on this project because I'm very happy with the result inside the room. I think the sound is balanced, and I think the absorption versus reflection ratio that we will talk about probably, I think it's good. I like the sound inside here. It's not too dry, it's not too wet. But when you came here, there were some issues that we needed to resolve. And maybe before we talk about them, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your background and how did you come to the acoustics field?
I see. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Yeah, you will. And yeah, the background is really simple. Like I was musician, still doing some music. Then I start doing a lot of sound engineer work with my projects with different bands, and then I came to the design of acoustic, especially of studios, because this is the most big issue for any sound engineer.
Yes.
To get the good mixes, to hear what you really record, what you really mixing. This is really important, and I found out from my own experience that it makes like more than 50% of what you do. It doesn't matter what equipment you work. We did a lot of with very simple equipment and very top equipment, and if acoustic doesn't help you with that, nothing could help you.
So why don't we watch a little bit of an illustration of how the room sounded like before we started to treat here. I made some samples, very short ones, of me just clapping and getting the overall sound of the room, and it's very obvious that there was some problem here. So what did we hear here? Like, what was it now that we heard?
Yeah, that was just a reflection from the flat walls, which was hopefully was made from the wood, because if you build it from the gyps, which is more often built at any rooms or even the concrete, so it's even more harder and more harshy sounds. But you hear that special resonance, special E or whatever, any note, because of this certain size of the room. So each size gives you the dimensions, produce as certain frequencies, like calls like eigenmode,
modes, the room
modes, and it gives exact results and results with your spectrum that you hear. So it really affects the whole sound.
And the fluttering echo is a different problem that could not just be solved with absorbers. I actually tried that. Before you came, I tried all kinds of things just to see if it works, if it helps, and to get some kind of intuition, and nothing really helped. I did put all kinds of absorbers all across the room. It did dry the room, but the room mode stayed and was very clear. The fluttering echo was still very clear. And after you came, I realized, okay, yes, the real solution for this would be to do some kind of diffusers, or how you call it, scattering panels.
Okay.
And these are the scattering panels, right?
Yeah.
And maybe you can talk a little bit about them.
The scattering panels makes all the sound which goes on the panel, so the reflection it's spread it. It's kind of a shower, So it's not a straight energy back, but it goes in all the space around.
It's just scattering the energy in different directions.
This is the scattering.
Okay.
Actually,
before we built these scattering panels, we had to measure a lot, right? We had to take some measurements of the room. We had to define where are the monitors located, where do I sit down, and what are the lengths that are taken from the front of the room, from the back of the room, from the top, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we watch this part and see how we did that?
Okay, so you're sitting here. Now I want to measure from this wall, just in case, because we have on the entire wall. So it's 177. Okay.
No, I think it's too much. I think I'm here, like my ears are here. 170, something like that. Like
yeah,
you're right. 170.
170. Okay, here if we close the door. Mm-hmm. 160. Okay, so somewhere in the middle. Okay, let's start
Seeing myself.
Nice. Then
no, not yet. Okay, I see the other monitor, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Still seeing
Yeah,
it?
still see it.
See it?
Yeah. It's
See
the
it?
other monitor.
Appears different.
Now it's stopped. Like the other monitor has ended. I only see the side.
Oh, okay, okay.
So-
So the second one
Yeah.
starts. Okay, the right monitor for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now still see it?
Not yet. Oh, okay. Yeah. Keep going. Keep going. A little bit more. Yeah. Now I see it.
See it?
I see this. I don't see the Twitter
This?
because it's too low. But now I see the Twitter. Yeah.
Here's it.
Yeah.
Still?
No, that's it. Like it was.
Stop.
Yeah. Here you stop. Exactly.
Difference. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
So here, here.
Yeah. It's about half a meter, something like that. Good. Right. Yeah. A little bit more towards me, I think.
Like this, see?
Yeah. Exactly the spot. Yeah.
And here.
And now it starts.
Sorry.
Yeah. Now,
Still
now I don't see. No, now I see it yet. Still.
Still seeing?
Now it ends.
Okay. And here? Can you
Here I cannot see anymore.
see? Can you see? And here?
Here it's only the top of the monitor.
Okay.
Good. Good. Okay, so we just measured the room and we can see on the screen now that we have all kinds of issues with this room, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about what do we see here on the graphs.
Okay, so here we can see the impulse response, and the impulse response of the room. This is just a test signal, very short. It's plays, and then we see what rests in the room, what sound still, flattering, actually, flattering from the walls and stay in the room. So we can see the decay of the sound, which is, it depends on how room, behave in this moment. And in this moment, the room behave like it's really long reverberation time, And you see the energy. This is the yellow and red, of course, spots. It's more high energy, but it's still, and of course, it's really smooth your impression of the sound. So it really affects the sound. After we have that results and real picture what happens, with the sound in your room, then I design, then I model the same in the computer, situation, simulate, and then I simulate and I test different configuration with different diffusers and type of diffusers and different combination of absorption diffusers. And of course we were limited in the budget, which is really, really important, in all the buildings stuff, because you can make the very fancy diffusers out of glass or out of natural stones or whatever, but in our task, it was build the most simple but effective diffusion.
Why don't we watch now how did you actually create those scattering panels, because it's a very interesting process. I guess that you follow some kind of design specifically for those scattering panels based on what we measured, and then you build those panels from the different angles and widths and heights that are matching your design. So now that we have all the absorbers and the scattering panels placed in, the room sounds very nice, and the problem is definitely solved, like we said. And we can now watch the comparison of our measurements. We did the measurement post our treatment, and we can see the difference between how it looked before and how it looked after the treatment of the room.
Yeah, you can clearly see that the decay of the sounds became much shorter, but not too short. Like if it will be totally dry, it will be even shorter.
Yeah.
But what's the main advance in this picture shows, this is that all the frequencies have mostly the similar decay. You don't have some certain longer or too short decay, so it's more or less smooth.
That was the fluttering echo that we tried to get rid of, and
yes,
succeeded.
Exactly.
So finally, many people asked me during the previous episodes how effective it really is here, like as far as soundproofing goes, because I always tell them, okay, this is working. We are living here, we have people in the house, we have neighbors, never got a complaint.
Yeah.
And that's great. But I thought, since you were here, maybe we can actually use your skills to actually measure how effective is the soundproofing of this room. Yeah. So we will take a couple of measurements, and then we are going to compare them, right?
Good.
And then we are going to discuss them a little bit, how they differ from each other.
You can see clearly that we have at least 24 dB in average in power of the signal.
Yeah.
And of course on certain frequencies you see different, because different materials, different walls, and so on. It affects differently for certain frequencies.
Yeah.
But averagely you have a 24 dB less in the corridor.
Before, when we talked, you said that the maximum you can get from any studio is what, -40, -42? If
you use two really heavy, they're professional doors, maximum you can have at 42 dB.
Okay.
Which we got before.
So I guess for a home studio it's pretty okay, right?
It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Okay, Alexander, thank you so much for coming over and showing us how you treated this room, and for your very, very nice work that you did here. So that's it for how to build a home studio. I hope you enjoyed watching this. As always, feel free to leave questions and comments on the different episodes. Subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you'd like to see more tutorials, more videos, instructional stuff, new music that I may release with my band, and anything else, feel free to pledge me on the Patreon page below. And this series is dedicated, once again, to the guy who built this place and didn't live to see the result, unfortunately, Shay Ofer. And in his memory, we made a nice little stencil on the inner door. And I invite you to watch this, and thanks so much for watching once again. Bye bye.
I want you to know that I'm sorry for what I did. From the depths of my heart, I truly want you to be happy, no matter what. I know it's all water under the bridge, but I just wanted you to know I'm a better person now. I learned from my mistakes, and I'm trying to change my life. Take care, and do not lose faith in people. I just wanted to say that even if the whole world is wrong, it should still be a man. I just wanted to say
just wanted to say, I just want